forgot how this works. Hi besties, how is it going? I guess I'm back. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys missed me a little bit, maybe a tiny bit. The length of the breaks on my YouTube channel are very embarrassing, and I'm so sorry for that. But now my schedule is less busy and I can finally share some more detailed tutorials on crochet, on DIYs, etc. And actually lots of have changed. There's a different background here. I've moved. But nevertheless, you might have heard my very first EP has come out. All the tracks are finally out for you guys to listen. And each of the tracks I show some sort of crochet garments that I actually crochet for the music videos. This one, the last one, which is called m.i.a, which stands for Missing in Action, my 5th track on the EP, has also a very cool crochet garment piece, which I wanted to show you and present you today and show you how you actually can recreate it on your own. What I'm actually talking about is, this is the beautiful piece that I'm talking about. I know it looks very artsy right now, and when you put it on, it looks also very artsy. I have this on the m.i.a artwork EP cover, and in the music video for my last single m.i.a, or latest single m.i.a. If you haven't heard it yet, the track, feel free to check it out as well. I know, as I said, it looks very artsy, but I want to show you how you can do this your own way, in your own colors, and have a perfect looking result of a checkered, cozy sweater. That is perfect for winter, by the way. Without further ado, let's jump right into the tutorial. People are asking me, what are you doing? Let's start with the materials actually. I'm using a 3.5mm hook and some yarn. In this case, it's a checkered chess pattern. So that's why I'm using black and white, the classic, and I'm connecting it with a more chunky yarn, which is red, to give it more details, to give it more the special something. But that's up to you as well. So I recommend to buy 400 grams of white and 500 grams of black yarn and a tiny little bit of the chunky red yarn. So these are actually the materials. You only need a measurement tape as well, some scissors and a wool needle. And that's basically it. I tell them, can't you see that I'm just cruising? Regarding the patches, for this sweater you're gonna need several patches in black and white, or any colors you choose actually. And what I did is to make it a little bit more special, to make it a little bit more interesting in the look, I've decided to go for 2 different types of patterns for each of the patches. So the white patch, as you can see, is a more meshy looking, or like a mesh looking pattern patch, and the black patch is a normal simple double crochet squared patch. Each of your patch needs to be, approximately needs to have the same size. We want to create a squared looking patch in the end. What I did is I've used a sweater that fits me very well as a reference. What I try to do is to have a 8 centimeters long and wide patch in order to create the square. So let's start right off with the white patch. The white patch is the meshy looking patch. It's a little bit see-through, but I kind of like the vibe. I chained up 19. When you chain up 19, you're gonna double crochet into the 4th stitch actually. In order to create the meshy looking white patch, we are going to chain up 1 and then skip the next stitch and do a double crochet into the very next stitch. So it's chain up 1, skip the next stitch, double crochet into the very next stitch, chain up 1, and repeat the whole process actually. We're gonna continue the whole pattern actually until we reach the end of our first row, and then we are going to chain up 4 again, turn our work, and do a double crochet into the 2nd stitch. We are going to repeat this for the 2nd row as well, chain up 4, and continue working the same style, the same method on row 3. I did 6 rows in order to get the squared looking patch. When we've done the whole patch, we are going to chain up 1, pull a long end and cut it, and pull the long string actually through the hole, and then we are going to weave in the ends if you want to. I'm not a huge fan of weaving in ends. As you might know, this hoodie is absolutely a chaos, but I absolutely love the look of it. But if you want to have a clean-up look, weave in the ends. I know it's very painful, but in the end, you will love the result. In order to create the black patch, which is very easy by the way, it's just a double crochet patch. So what we do is we chain up 18, we're going to double crochet into the third stitch. Then we are going to double crochet into the next stitch, double crochet into the next stitch, and so on until we reach the end of the first row. When we've reached the end of the first row, we are going to chain up 2, turn our work, and do a double crochet into the next stitch. In order to finish up the black patch, I crocheted 8 rows. I know it's a little bit more than the white patch, but I think that depends on the meshy pattern that I've used on the white patch. It stretches out easily than the tight double crochet patch. So for me, in my case, it was 8 rows, but I would recommend for you guys to just finish your patch when it looks like a square. That also counts for the white one, because in the end we want to have a squared looking patch, which is the most important thing. Lately, I've been in the middle of a daydream. Things got a little bit. So this is actually how you crochet each of the patches, and in order to create the whole sweater, you need to crochet tons of these patches. This actually leads me to the arrangement of the hoodie. I'm going to blend in a arrangement of all of the patches that you need for this hoodie in here. There are some special patches around the collar, there are some special patches for the sleeves, and in order to create my sweater style, I've used 46 patches for the front and 46 patches for the back. And that makes a total out of 23 patches for the front in white and 23 patches for the front in black and 23 patches for the back as well in both of the colors. So that's a lot of patches and it takes some time, but maybe it can be a group project as well with your friends. Each of you do a patch and you just create a big patchwork shared sweater in the end. Maybe I just need some time to myself. In order to create one of the sleeves, you're going to need 6 of the normal patches that we also use for the body part. So you're going to do 3 of the white ones and 3 of the black ones for one sleeve. For the second row, we are going to decrease the chain ups by 2. That means for the white one, we're not chaining up 19 again, we are going to chain up 17. So the first row, 18 for the black ones, 19 for the white ones. Second row, 17 for the white ones and 16 for the black ones. And row 3, we are going to decrease it for another time by 2. That means 14 for the black ones and 15 for the white ones. That we are going to do twice, so that means there's no more decreasement on the next row. So we are going to need not 6 of the patches, we need 12 of these patches. And for the last row, which is very close to the ankle, you're going to decrease it another time by 2. And what is very important, you're not going to decrease the row amount, you only decrease the chain up amount. That means you just keep on working the same rows that you worked for your body part patches as well. So we don't want to decrease it in the length of our sleeve, we just want to decrease, that it's not looking very bulky in the end. We just want to decrease, that it gets more cleaned up and tighter around our ankles, around our wrists, and not actually decrease the length of our sleeve. So keep that in mind. I've been trying so hard. Alright, let's continue with the last patches that are the special patches around our collar. So there's a front part of the collar and a back part of the collar, and in order to make it round, we are going to arrange the patches a little bit differently and crochet these patches a little bit differently as well. So what I have is I have 2 white patches in the front and the normal black patch in the middle for our front section of our collar. I just simply decreased one side of the patch actually in the end to cut off the little corner. So what I did is you're gonna start working of the patches for the first two rows just normally as you do for your normal body patch. And in the third row, you start decreasing one side of the row in order to create the little cut off corner of our patch. I'm gonna blend in a photo of how it should look like with the crochet font. For the back side of the patches, or the collar actually, I did the same thing to the black patches, but not as early as I did it for the front collar patches, because the front collar is a little bit bigger than the back collar. I normally worked on the black patches until I hit the row 4, and in row 5 and 6 I started to cut off the edge in order to round up the edge, one of the edges for the black patch. And what I did is I only chained up 4 rows for my white patch in order to make it a little bit decreased and smaller, and to make it fit in the middle of the back of our collar. I'm gonna blend in a whole arrangement all the time here so you can guys check it out. Alright, next up we have the attaching process. So when we've collected all of the patches, all the sleeve patches, all the collar patches, all the body patches, we are going to attach them obviously to one whole big sweater in the end. So now it's up to you if you want to only connect the corners of the patches, or if you want to connect all the edges of the patches to a coherent, not see-through sweater in the end. I can fully recommend to plan in more yarn if you want to sew all the patches together, all the edges together, because you're definitely gonna need more yarn for this. And it's a longer process as well. I decided to go for only connecting the corners because I wanted to have a more outstanding look, a wilder look for the music video and the artwork obviously, but I can fully understand that you don't want to do that maybe, and rather go for a coherent checkered sweater. So what you're gonna do is you're going to attach first all the body patches with the collar, and afterwards you're going to attach the sleeve patches. It's gonna take you a while, I can tell you that for sure, but it's gonna be so worth it in the end, bestie. Last but not least, you're gonna attach or close up the sleeves and the side of your sweater, and then what's only left is the ribbon to finish up the sweater, and that's what we're gonna do next. Last but not least, we're gonna have we only have to crochet and attach the ribbons. So we're having one collar ribbon, one waist ribbon, and 2 of the sleeve ribbons that goes around our wrist. I chained up 22 and started my ribbings. Did a double crochet into the 3rd loop and worked my first row only in double crochets until I hit the end of the first row. Then I chained up 3, turned my work, and did a double crochet in the 2nd row only in the back loop of each of the stitches in order to create a ribbon look and to create the effect of a ribbon, to stretch it out. You only work into the back loop. So what we are going to do for row 2, we are going to do the double crochets only into the back loop until we hit the end of the row. We chain up 3, turn our work, and start working our double crochets into the back loop again. We're gonna continue this whole thing until our ribbon is long enough to make it fit around our wrist. You should be able to put your hand through the whole ribbon because you want to enter it and put it on in the end. So make sure your wrist is long enough to not only fit around your wrist but also around the biggest part of your hand. And when you've done that and you reach the desired amount of rows that you want for your wrist, you just chain up one at the end of the row, pull a long end, cut it and pull it through. And then we are going to close it by sewing it together, attaching it to your sweater part. You need to do this twice for each of your sleeves. I've been trying so hard. So for the collar I chained up 10 and worked my double crochet into the 3rd stitch. Go back the first row with only double crochets in each stitch, chain up 3, turned my work and worked only in the back loop. I continued working on the collar until it fitted around my neck, and then I actually attached it to the sweater by sewing it on. Alright, last but not least, we are gonna have the waist ribbon. For this I chained up actually 17 and worked the whole same thing, same process as for the wrist and for the collar. I worked my double crochet into the 3rd stitch, went along with a double crochet in each stitch for the first row, chained up 3, turned my work and worked my double crochet only in the back loop. The waist ribbing is the longest, so it takes a little while until it fits around your waist. Don't have it too tight because you need to make it fit around your shoulders when you put it on, but also don't have it too loose because otherwise your sweater will look like a dress. That's it. Then you just sew it together in the ends, like the beginning and the end, and attach it to your sweater, and then your sweater is done. And you're very excited to put it on and present it to your friends or to your mom or to your family or to your grandma, what you've created. And you can be very, very proud when you've done it, because that whole bitch project is a whole damn pain and lots of, yeah, it's a very long process. For me at least, it was a very long process, but I can't wait actually to see all your results. If you decide to do a checkered pattern sweater, feel free to tag me in yours or just send me a DM and show me the end result. Alright bestie, I really hope you liked this little tutorial. I know it's not little, it's actually huge, and I really much enjoyed it working on it. And oh, I can actually extend this whole thing. I forgot how to use my camera in that time. I didn't use it actually. I'm very happy to be back on YouTube. I'm very happy to show you more tutorials. The next one is freaking amazing. I've just received the yarn and I think I can tell you right now, it's my biggest project that I've ever done. Make sure to stream my song, stream my EP while you crochet that sweater if you want to. And I love you and I can't wait to be back in the next video. Be safe. I hope you have a good morning, good evening, or a good day or good night. Whenever you're watching this video, I love you and I see you soon. Bye bye, I'm out. Ciao.